Every guy that I know has had this time of rising up to a good habit, but after a time it just doesn't feel good anymore. After a time it just slows down, being done rarely, or just being quit because we don't want to put in the effort anymore. Most likely you're one of these guys as well. So in this video I help you identify why these ugly tasks now exist and why these aren't the good habits anymore, and how to reclaim the good habits. First of all, I want to give you reasons for why neurologically the good habits turned into ugly ones. If you have a habit like exercise, for most people, especially in Europe, they will do a workout and after that get a reward. There was a study made on children. These children liked to draw. They drew out of their own will because they enjoyed it. But then the researchers came in and they gave the kids a reward after every time they draw a picture. Every day after the kids drawing, they got this reward, sweets. They were super happy about the reward. They were doing it a lot more. It actually boosted their motivation. But after the researchers stopped giving the rewards, these kids, which actually enjoyed drawing a lot, just fell off. They didn't draw at all anymore because they didn't find it enjoyable. Now, chances are that what I've just described helps you already. So basically, you had this habit. After this habit, you've done something else. Maybe you actively rewarded yourself. For example, you ate chocolate because you've done exercise. For example, you've scrolled for 30 minutes because, well, now you've got the free time. You reward yourself with the box being ticked off out of your schedule. That now you can have free time and do things you enjoy. Scrolling. Now, because this thing stimulates you, it will be like this connected thing. You will have the block of the habit and the block of the rewards. And because you have this block together now, once the reward isn't there anymore, this block feels empty because something's missing, right? So it's just the exercise now, just the hard task. And why would you want to do the hard task without the rewards? That's what your brain says. And there's another reason for why your habits could feel unfulfilling. It also has to do with dopamine. So dopamine is the hormone, the thing that gives you motivation. Dopamine basically gives you the motivation to do things, or it takes it. So a quick lesson in dopamine. You basically have a base level that in the best case stays the same all of the time. If something good happens, if you get motivated, it will go up and then also drain a bit of your tank from your baseline. If you then have gotten the dopamine taken out, your baseline will drop, as I've just said. It will stay at the reduced baseline level now, and it will only reset once you wake up the next day. So if you take more and more dopamine out, your motivation to do the good habits will actually shrink more and more. So with that, you will feel more inclined to do video games, to get quick and cheap dopamine. You will be more inclined to eat sweets, to scroll on YouTube. Because, well, you have a low baseline of dopamine and it's easier to do quick tasks that also give you pleasure than do the hard task because your baseline is so low. But basically how you fix this, it's quite similar to the previous one, is that you just reduce the rewarding activities which spike dopamine before the event and after the event. So it's just this block which has like this 50-minute baseline gap in which the baseline doesn't change. So it's this isolated habit which you can have much more easy in your daily schedule because you will feel more motivated to do it. The third reason for why your good habits turned into ugly tasks is that you've just lost the big picture. Imagine you got this big goal which you want to get to. But after a time of working yourself slowly up, you're not even all the way there. You just miss it, you can't see it anymore. It's almost like there was this fog building around the sky that you wanted to get to. You couldn't see the goal anymore, and therefore Your motivation just dropped because you didn't know what you were working for. You saw no purpose in your good habits. So what you can actually do right now, you know which habit you've lost. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's journaling. You could find many reasons for why they would benefit you, but right now, write down 3 for each. What you could do if you reach the goal that you wanted to get to in the beginning when you started this. So for meditation, it's basically, I have no negative thoughts anymore. I can concentrate whenever I want. I can be present with my girl so she feels more loved. All of these are great reasons for meditation, right? And if you had this picture, you would see the skills that you would earn. Not just get, but earn. And that's a huge motivator. If you've lost that fire, if you've lost like looking into the sky, remind yourself a lot of the thing that you actually want to get to. This is basic advice, but it's something many people just lose. The 4th reason for why your good habits turn into ugly tasks is negative connection. What's negative connection? Imagine we give a child a book to read in. This child reads the whole book in one day. But every time he doesn't know words in this book, he gets hit with a stick. Stress, okay. Actually, fight or flight. It thinks it's in a scenario where his life is in danger. And thirdly, his dopamine just drops, right? Because he gets hit with a stick, dopamine drops because the stress hormones go up. And with that, if he read this book every time, and if this went into the habit of reading a book, but then getting hit, like even if he doesn't get hit anymore, his dopamine will still drop, his stress will still spike. He might even get into this fight or flight state. And this is dangerous if you have a task in which you might blame yourself a lot in which other people talk down to you, in which fight or flight is triggered. You of course will go away from this situation. You don't want to do the habit anymore. It's just a negative connection now in your brain. So the way that you can slowly rewire your brain out of this almost trauma-like experience is that you first of all take a break from the habit that you have the negative connection to. After a time, you can come back to it with a positive outlook. Like maybe you see creators like me talking about meditation in a good way, and you actually get hyped for it. It's like you get clapped in Fortnite, but then you come back 3 months later because there's a new update and some streamer, Ninja, has talked about so good about this game, how it's so fun. This is basically the same with the habits. You will take this break and then come to the new season with the new battle pass, because now you have different goals to achieve. Because now the stress is away from the sweats building towers on you. Because now you don't actually care to win as fast as possible and are afraid of the competition, but you actually want to get better yourself. And it doesn't matter if you make mistakes, because through mistakes you learn, and the less mistakes you make, the higher you're gonna get. You're quite a smart young guy. And automatically this will just go through. But don't try to force habits. It doesn't go well. If you notice that you're getting stressed a lot when doing habits, if you notice that you're in an unwholesome mind state, like if your body sweats, maybe you're trying to get YouTube, if your body sweats, take a break, don't force it. It needs to come more naturally. And you will feel what naturally feels like. You will have fun. You will laugh during the recording. Not just sit there like, guys, hello, this is my first YouTube video. You can see, right? So the quality of your habits will be much better. And it won't turn into an ugly task. If you enjoy the activity, that is. I hope this video has helped you to get back on track with your good habits. Share this video with a guy that might need it. Subscribe to this channel. And then get up and get to work.